Mukam karoti vachalam, pangum langhayate girim, yatkripa tamaham bande paramanandamadhavam, sthapakaya cha dharmasya, sarvadharmasvarupine, avatara varisthaya, ramakrishnaya te namaha. Ratnakara dhautapadam, himalaya kiritinim, brahmarajarshi ratnadhyam, bande bharatmataram. Sadashivasmarambham, shankaracharya madhyamam, asmadacharya paryantam, bande guru paramparam. Welcome everyone to this unique course, the stories from the Upanishads, lessons for a meaningful life. We have completed 1 week of 5 stories from various Upanishads. Now we are in the second week. From today, it's not going to be just a story with a lesson. There will be few philosophical aspects that we need to know because we are entering into the Vedanta. Today, let's understand a story. Long ago, there was a person, a great rishi called Aruna. He was also called Gautama or even Uddalaka sometimes. He had a son and he sent him for a Gurukula to learn. Though he had his own Gurukula, he always felt if he learns from his father, he may take it for granted. So he sent his son to his Gurukula to learn. His son went and came out with flying colors, knowing most of the topics that was there in the Vaidika Gurukula. He comes back, knowing many concepts. His son was not satisfied. His son came and asked his father Aruna, saying, Father, I want to know more things. Can you please teach me more things? Father was very happy because my son is coming with so much of knowledge, but he still has that eagerness to learn. So let me teach him. He understood whatever he has learned from his guru. Now, as a rishi himself, as a guru himself, he taught much more aspects of Veda, Upanishads, and many other aspects of rituals and meditation and many other secular skills and all those things. And one day, this son comes and asks, Father, is my education complete? Am I ready to go out to society? Father was very happy. When you came from the Gurukula itself, you were ready for it. Now you have learnt more. Your education is complete. So you can enter into Grihastha-ashrama, you can get into the society, you can start performing rituals, you can start teaching others. So then the boy asked, okay, I can get into the society, I can get into Grihastha-ashrama, get married and all. But what all job I can do? What are the things that I can do as a karma brahmana? Because I am a guna brahmana, jati brahmana, from now on, I want to be a karma brahmana also. What all things that I can do? Then the father told, you can do 6 things. 1, yajana, yajana. You can worship, you can do homa and you can make others do homa. Second, adhyayana, adhyapana. You can learn and you can teach. The third set, dana, parigraha. You can donate, you can gift someone and you can accept gifts. These 6 things you can do from now on. And the boy accepted, entered into Grihastha-ashrama. Just in a couple of years, he thought, whatever dakshina that I am getting, whatever dana that I am receiving, whatever guru dakshina I am receiving from few students, this is not enough. I want to grow rich. I want to grow rich. I want to make more money. So, how to do it? I can't transgress dharma. I can't go beyond my swadharma of teaching. I can't go beyond my dharma of performing rituals. But if I go and teach all these small people, I will get small dakshina itself. So let me teach the king or the prince, then I can get huge amounts of money. That was the thought came. But he was thinking, whether I am qualified to go to king and ask that I can teach you? He was not very confident about it. So what he did? He started going to the nearby places wherever the Vidvat Goshtis were happening. There's debates on various topics of Veda. He used to go there, he used to participate and he used to give his opinions. And his opinions were so strong, all other scholars were telling, you are one of the bright chap that we have seen. I think you are the best one. You are qualified. And in all places wherever he went, he used to ask for certificate. Apart from the dakshina or dana he gets, he used to ask for certificate. Why? The resume building has to happen. Once you have the resume building, you can approach the king. So after few years of going to different places for Vidvat Goshtis and proving his scholarship, he felt, now I am ready to go to the king. Which king? He thought, where should I go? Let me go to the place where I am living. The same place where I am going. Let me go and visit the king. And the king is Pravahana Jaivali. And which kingdom? It is Panchala kingdom. We all know Panchala because it is very popular in the Mahabharata. Even Draupadi comes from the same kingdom. Pravahana Jaivali was the king. He thought, let me approach the king. Directly he goes to the king's palace, and the security guards who were standing there looking at the radiance and brilliance of this great teacher, they prostrated him, paid respects, and he was asked, why have you come? And he directly said, I have come here to teach your king. Please allow me to go inside. And looking at the courage of the boy, the security guards thought, yes, we need to accept, because education is always at the highest level. Even kings also should come and fall at the feet of the teacher. So let us allow. He was allowed to go inside the palace. He enters the palace, and king, looking at the young boy coming in with so much of courage, confidence, he goes and prostrates to him. He asks, you look like a very learned person. Why have you come? Let me give you so much of dana and dakshina. He offered him something. But he told, dakshina should be given only when you are learning something. No, I have not taught you anything. I have come here to teach you something. After learning, you give me dakshina. And king was very happy with the offer. He told, okay, but today it's already late. Please accept our hospitality. Stay in the palace. Take whatever upachara that we want to do. Please accept those things. Then tomorrow we can have the discussion and you can teach us. And this boy was very happy because it's a palace having all comforts. He was given all comforts, food, place, clothing, even the guards to safeguard him. All kinds of comforts were given. He was very happy. But Pravahana Jaivali, he was not just a ruler or an administrator, he was a scholar by himself. He was a great jnani by himself. So he made sure that when this boy is going through all these comforts, what is the attitude that he carries? He started observing that. And looking at the boy, he could get, this boy has knowledge, but along with knowledge, arrogance has arrived in his heart. Arrogance is at its high peak. So he understands that. He wanted to burst that ego. Next day, he comes and sits on his throne and calls this boy, and he says, you have come, you look like a great learned person. Has your education complete? Are you educated? What all have you learned? Can you answer few questions that I have? And this boy with confidence says, yes, I have completed my education in my Gurukula. After that, I even went to my father and I have learned many things, and I have got so many certificates to my credit where I can prove my scholarship. You can ask me any question that you want. Does that mean you are qualified and educated completely? This boy says, yes, of course, I'm completed. My education is complete. You can ask me any questions. And you are a king. What question can you answer was the thought that he had. But king, being a king as well as a scholar, he could understand what questions to ask and burst his ego. He says, I have 5 questions. Shall I ask you? Only 5. Ask. Any question you ask. And King Pravahana Raja, he started asking the first question. The first question looks simple but very philosophical. He asks, when people die, when people depart this world, when the body is been either cremated or burnt, where will the jiva go? Where will the jiva go? When this question was asked by the king, this boy was taken aback, because till now wherever he has gone to debate, it was always about the rituals, the kind of dharma, the niti, rajadharma, or the rituals or the upasanas that has to be done. But here he is asking something metaphysical. He is asking something about the jiva, the soul, the consciousness. He said with shyness, with low confidence, he said, I do not know this answer alone. Please ask me anything else. Please ask me anything else. I do not know only this answer. King told, okay, you do not know this answer. That's fine. That's fine. Because everyone cannot be a sarvagya. I understand. Can I ask you the second question? Please ask, sir. The second question the king asked, do you know from where people are reborn? Because in Hindus, all philosophers, whether it is Hindus or Buddhists or Jains or Sikhs, any religion that is born in India accepts rebirth. So this king is asking, from where we are born? He says, I do not know what happens after death. You are asking how I am reborn. I do not know this. Then king asked, I will ask you the third question. When we are dying, there are people say in the Shastras, they say there are two paths that lead a soul to different planes. Do you know the details of the two paths that take the soul to different planes? This boy says, I do not know there are two paths. How to tell about the details? I do not know. Fourth question. In spite of so many people doing so many rituals and upasanas and meditation and many things for the sake of heaven, reaching heaven, all these people are going to heaven is what you believe? He says, yes, Vedas have told and they have to go. In spite of so many people going to heaven, why heaven is not full? Why heaven is not overflowing? Is there no problem of population? This boy thought, I know how to reach heaven. What are the practices that needs to be done to reach heaven? But I do not know all these details. I don't know. Finally, the fifth question, the king asked, do you know the details of the Panchagni Vidya? Panchagni Vidya. This boy thought, Panchagni Vidya? I do not know. What is the Panchagni Vidya? It is the signs of birth and rebirth. He says, no, I do not know. I only know I am born because of my father and mother. That's it. So basic, so superficial. King, in a stern voice, he told, why and how come you say you are educated, you are qualified, and who told you are educated? You say you have completed your education in Gurukula and you have gone even to your father and you have learned something. Go and ask your father whether he knows something or not. You are not at all answering even a single question out of 5 questions. How can you say you are qualified? I don't think you are qualified. Better you go back and ask your father whether he knows these answers first. The boy was humiliated. The boy was very shy and he was about to leave. King Pravahana Raja felt bad. He wanted to burst his ego and he has done his. But now he wanted to do his duty as Atiti Devo Bhava. He told, please stay in our palace. We want to host you as a great guest. We want to treat you as God. But with humiliation and with shame, he could not stay there. He told, no, I have to go back. I can't stay here. He rushed back to his home. Meets his father, Aruna, Gautama, and says, Father, you told me that I am qualified. You told me my education is complete. You told me I can go out and become a grihastha because my education is complete. I can work for my family. But what you told is false. Am I educated? Father told, yes, you are educated. That's why I told you that. Why will I say otherwise? No, what you told is a lie. I do not know. Why do you feel like that, my son? Then he says, the episode that happened. I had been to the king, Pravahana Raja of Panchala. He asked me 5 questions. I could not even answer a single one. And he told, without answering any of these questions, how can you say you are qualified? I could not answer any one, Father. Why did you not teach me those questions? And the father asked, what are those questions? And the boy told all the 5 questions about the birth, rebirth, the 2 paths that reached to different planes, and how the heaven, Panchagni Vidya, all those 5 questions were told by the son. And father, listening to it intently, he told, son, I too do not know these questions. I too do not have answers to these questions. If I had known, wouldn't I have taught you all these things? You are so dear to me. You are so intelligent. You are a learned person. How else would I have not taught you? I too do not know. Let us go. Let us go and ask the king. Come, we will approach the king and become his disciple and learn from him. The boy told, I don't want to come. Now only I can't show my face to that king because I had gone with so much of hump and pep saying that I know everything, and he has burst my ego. Now I can't come. If you want, you can go and learn from him. The father told, okay, I will learn. You take care of this Gurukula now. He made him the Acharya of the Gurukula for the current time, and he goes to the kingdom of Panchala, the palace. And king receives him with great respect, and he was given all comforts with great hospitality and all those things. And he was asked to come on the next day, just like the son was called. And king observed the hava bhava, the body language, and the attitude of the father. But now this time the father's attitude was completely different. Against what was son, who was having pride, ego, this father had complete submission, complete surrenderance, complete humility. So he understood it, but still he wanted to test. The next day, when he comes to the court of the king, he says, all the jewels are ready to you. I have heard about you. You are running a Gurukula and many students are with you. So you can take any number of jewels that you want. You can take any number of cattle you want. You can ask me how much ever you want. I am ready to give you for the sake of the Gurukula. Then this Gautama, Aruna says, to run a Gurukula we need resources, I know. But more than the resource, knowledge is what is required to run a Gurukula. Now I have understood what I do not know. As a guru who is teaching many students, if I do not know, how can I teach my students? So I have come here not to accept gifts. I have come here for Jnana Bhiksha. For Jnana Bhiksha. Please teach me, teach me. And Raja asks, okay, what do you want to learn? What knowledge you do not have is what you have understood. Then Gautama says, Aruna, whatever 5 questions you asked my son, I do not know answer to any of these questions. Please answer those questions. And that will be the greatest gift that you would be giving. And I would be happy to be a disciple of yours. Suddenly, a person asking for a Panchagni Vidya without testing, how can he even give that knowledge? Pravahana Raja even understood the tradition that was prevalent at that time. He being a king, a Kshatriya, this person being a teacher, a Brahmana. Kshatriya always goes to Brahmana to learn. But here a Brahmana is coming to a Kshatriya to learn. Is it not against tradition is what the thought that came to his mind. But looking at the eagerness, he thought, let me teach. But didn't accept at the moment. He told, I can teach you, but you have to stay here for a longer time. I want to observe you and I want you to qualify yourself for the teaching. Aruna told, I will say whatever you told. I will stay here till you give me the teaching. He stays in the palace. He was given a room. He was asked to do few qualification practices like the meditation, the rituals, the thought process change, the intellectual reasoning. All those things were told. After few months, one day, Pravahana Raja calls Aruna and tells, today I have understood that you have got the necessary qualification to know these teaching. Are you ready for the teaching? Aruna says, I am always happy. I am ever ready to learn from you. Please teach me. With acceptance of a king as guru, he prostrates to him and asks for the knowledge. Then he starts giving the answer, and before that he says, do you know why you don't know this knowledge, Panchagni Vidya? The reason is, till now this Vidya is always with the Kshatriyas. It has never gone away from the Kshatriyas. That's why you people do not know the science behind it. That's why, to burst the ego of your son, I used it as a trump card. But today, as you have sought the knowledge, I am going to give you. Please spread it among the whole world. With that prelude, he starts giving his teaching. Then he asks, what question do you want to do? Or do you want the answer? He says, all the 5 questions. Do you remember the 5 questions? Aruna says, yes, I do remember. Can you ask me that question? The first question he asks, where people die, when people die, where do they go? Then Pravahana Raja says, we all know, when the physical body dissolves, it gets into the Panchabhutas, the elements. But soul travels because of the karma. No person will come with you, no relationship will come with you, no money will come with you, no assets that you have done will come with you. What comes after death is only the karma that you have done, the good deeds that you have done, the bad karmas that you have done. The punya papa are those 2 things that come along with you to take you either upward or downward. The soul travels upward direction if a person has done good deed. The soul travels the downward direction if a person has done bad deeds. So this is the movement of soul after death. Gautama understands, I had known something like this, but this much of clarity was not there. He gives a complete teaching. Then second question he asks. He says, second question I'll take it later. What was the third question? The third question is, do you know the paths that the soul travels? He says, yes, I told already there are 2 paths. One is a downward path. Adharmic people goes downward and dharmic people goes upward. But these were not the 2 paths that I told. Even for going upward, there are 2 paths. What are those? Those who know Bhagavad Gita, they would be very much familiar with this. The Devayana and Pitrayana, or Shuklagati or Krishnagati. Those who does karma, rituals, with the desire in their mind to achieve something, they go to heaven in the Krishnagati. Krishnagati, Krishna Marga or Pitriyana, and they go to heaven, they enjoy and they come back to the same world and suffer. And those people who does selfless action, devotion, upasana, meditation on Ishvara, they take the Devayana, the Shukla Marga, the path of light, and they reach Brahmaloka, which we can translate it as Vaikuntha or Kailasa, and there they will know the knowledge, and from there they get the moksha. Here we can understand the ritualistic people go to heaven, the upasana, the meditators will go to Brahmaloka, but there also it is not the end, it is Krama Mukti. From there you need to know the true self, and from there you have to go upward, or you have to no travel, you will be Mukta there. That is called Krama Mukti. He understands that. Then he asks the fourth question. In spite of so many people going upward, why people are why there is no huge population crunch there? Why it is not overflown? Then he says a simple philosophy of karma, where Krishna also takes in Bhagavad Gita, Kshine punyes martyalokam vishanti. Whoever goes to Swargaloka, after their exhaustion of punya, they will fall. That's why whoever goes up has to come down. Abrahma bhuvanal lokaha punaravartino arjuna. Meaning, whoever goes to any loka must come down. That is the reason it is not overflown. It is not completely filled. Then he asks, you ask me the second question and fifth question together, I will answer it. And what was the second question and fourth question? Second question and fifth question. The second question is how people are born, and fifth one was how the concept of Panchagni Vidya. Here the topic is too technical, so I don't want to enter into that. Simple thing I would tell you is how people are born. Generally we say because of the father and mother we are born, but that's a very narrow way of looking at it. The whole cosmos is working towards a child's birth, a jiva taking birth. How? After the death of a jiva, it goes like with the tejas, with the samskaras and with the karma, goes upward or downward depending on their karma. And because of that, it reaches high, let's assume it has gone to Swargaloka. And after exhaustion of punya, it starts falling down. And it falls down to the cloud which has been done by the Surya, the sun, the evaporation done by the sun on the water. And this jiva enters this cloud, and this is the first step. The jiva enters cloud. And what happens next? Clouds come and they have a clash and rains fall. The second Agni, the second step is the same jiva which was in cloud enters earth. What happens next? The third Agni. Whatever the jiva was there on earth, it enters the vegetation, plants. And next, the plant will be eaten by a male or a female, both. And male, it becomes a sperm, and in female, it becomes an egg. This is the fourth step. What happens in the last step? The sperm enters the egg and becomes a jiva, and from that, after 9 months or 10 months, the jiva comes out and it is born. This is the 5-step process which was told by Pravahana Raja on the concept of Panchagni Vidya. The details are too technical. I am not going to that because that is outside the purview of this story course. So this is the story. Now what we can learn is important. First and foremost, the son. He was very curious to know, curious to learn more and more. That's why even after his Gurukula learning, he comes to his father and learns more. That is one thing that we have to learn. But he wanted to learn more for what? He wanted to learn more so that he can earn more. This is what we should not do. Learning should be for learning's sake. Learning should be for knowledge's sake, not for earning money. Today the whole world is looking at what you should learn and why you should learn. I want to learn this because there is a scope for this subject. Whether that person likes or not, that is secondary. He wants to earn. So Upanishad or Vedic lifestyle is against that. The third, hospitality, Atiti Devo Bhava concept that was showcased by the king when the son came and even the father came. The kind of respect that he showed towards the teaching fraternity is seen in this. And pride and ego of the son, when he had that arrogance, we could see. And we should never ever, whatever we know, We should be always humble. When the tree grows bigger, it bends down. Our learning also should make us more humble and humble. And observation by the king. When the son came, he observed. When the father came, he observed. By observation, he understood he has to puncture the other person's ego. And from the observation of the father, he understood he has to teach. So observation is important. Acceptance. Acceptance of the Brahmin to take the king as the guru. That is more important. Age is not a factor to learn. Age is not a factor to learn. As long as you live, so long do you should learn. This is the statement that the great Maharshi of these times, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, says, as long as I live, so long do I learn. Let us also have that as the mantra of our life. And when father came, Aruna, he was offered wealth, he was offered a lot of resources, but he rejected everything, saying, I don't want any of this, I want knowledge. This is what is expected for a qualified student, to learn these things. For anything that you want to learn, the music or the art or anything, for that also you need dedication, but there it is okay. But for Vedantic knowledge, you need to have such kind of dispassion towards anything. Only seek knowledge. King followed the tradition and he accepted the student only after testing. King knew his strengths and worked on his strength as a trump card. And the whole concept is about the karma theory. Karma theory, the 5 questions he asked. What we can get the message from it? If first and foremost, be a dharmic person. Second, even being a dharmic, first and foremost, if you have any selfish desires, do it, but in a dharmic way, so that you can go to heaven. But even heaven is temporary. You have to come back. So don't do simple rituals, do with upasana, so that you can reach at least Brahmaloka, the Devayana. But understand, Devayana is also not eternal. Understand the reality. Once Ramana Maharshi was asked by a devotee. We all know Ramana Maharshi always used to say, inquire who am I to whoever comes. There was one person who was a devotee of Narayana. He comes and asks Maharshi, Ramana Maharshi, you always tell us to inquire who am I. I don't know how to do this inquire. I'm not interested in this self-inquiry. I'm a great devotee of Narayana. So I want to do Nama Japa, I want to do Bhakti. Can I follow it? Ramana Maharshi told, yeah, continue. So if I continuously do it, will I go to Vaikuntha? Yeah, that's what is the faith. No? You will go to Vaikuntha. If I go to Vaikuntha, will Narayana look at me? You have gone to Vaikuntha to see Narayana, no? So you will be seeing Narayana and Narayana will also see you. Will he talk to me? Definitely. You have gone with so much of aspirations and desires. Why not Narayana will talk to you? He will speak to you. Then this person with so much of anxiety, he asks, what Narayana will talk to me? Ramana Maharshi with a smiling face, he says, Narayana will say, inquire who am I? Inquire who am I? Even if you go to Vaikuntha or Kailasa or whichever loka or Goloka, whichever loka, there also you need to do self-inquiry. Why have so much of trouble to go there and do self-inquiry when you have all the resources here itself? So the whole concept of this story is, don't wait for anything. Start your self-inquiry through the study of scriptures from here and now itself. So with that thought, let us conclude the session with the Shanti Mantra. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.